Produce, yeah. So there are brands that exist, like Chiquita Banana, Dole. These are brands, but they're not brands that really resonate with consumers. They might have at one point, but I'm sure they're spending money on it, but the efforts didn't really come to fruition, I guess, to create a brand that people really cared about in the modern day. And the produce section itself, like people don't really approach it, like companies don't really approach it in the same way that you see in like CPG and stuff like that. Like we don't pay slotting fees or anything like that, which is like for listeners, a lot of your favorite brands are paying a lot of money to be on that shelf. And produce normally doesn't really work like that. I'm sure some people do it, but we're lucky in that we don't have to, but we can apply other kinds of ways of marketing. Like we use social media really well, I think. And we try to provide a really aesthetically pleasing product. Luckily, the mushrooms themselves are very cool looking. And when they're grown fresh, they're super colorful and they look like aliens. And so they do a lot of the talking for us. But we wanted to have some form of a brand that really resonated with people and people could remember as the company that grows fresh and grows local and grows organically and pays everyone a living wage and grows in all of these cool ways. A brand on its own isn't defensible, and those do not last. Like we think that the brand means so much more, and I think a lot of consumers are realizing that. The evolution of that was really funny for us. Like we thought that we were going to be like a white labeled product always. We thought that we were going to build equipment for people and maybe sell mushrooms, but it wasn't going to be our brand. And honestly, in the beginning, it was like me and Adam just goofing around on Instagram, and we built kind of a community around us and continue to try to like really build on that community. Now we have an amazing marketing team. Abigail runs the ship there, and amazing group of people that are working with different community groups and using social media in interesting ways. We do a lot of on-site tabling and cooking demos and all that kind of stuff. Normal stuff that you'd expect from a food brand, but we try to be as authentic as possible. Try to open our doors to as many people as possible. We try to just sort of educate whenever we can, and it's still continuing to work and help us build that brand even further.